Huron, despite their record, you look at what they've done at home during the season, and it's been pretty impressive as they are 4-1 at home, and up until this game had not lost a conference game at home. They're 4-0 in SBC play on the home floor. So, big hill for the Perkins Pirates to climb over to keep that unbeaten streak alive. And it almost seems like, at least you would think that the further along the streak goes, the tougher it would be to keep her going. But somehow these guys just manage to always rise to the task. That's just a tad on the scary side. That Tiger better just look to his right all night long. Prospects aren't very good. Perkins had a scare a week ago when they had to come from behind in the last few seconds of the game. Got a couple of free throws from Danny Doster right at the end to win it, 72-71 over Western Reserve. Pirates have survived a number of those battles this year where they've had close calls but always found a way to make the plays down at the end of the ball game. Coaches always tell you need to have good players, obviously, but once in a while you just need to get a little bit on the lucky side as well. First meeting between these two ball clubs this year, Perkins was the winner, 76-62 over at the Pirate Flank on Campbell Street. And Perkins has now beaten Huron in 3 straight meetings. Before that, Huron had won 8 straight in the series. It's kind of like a roller coaster going back and forth here, and right now Perkins, the team that is assuming control. Our segment sponsors on the Game of the Week include Matthews Ford Lincoln Mercury, bringing you the replays. Our Hustle Award is sponsored by Tough Man Equipment and Supply on Route 20 East in Norwalk. Player of the Game comes your way courtesy of Firelands Regional Medical Center, and the Money Shot is brought to you by Citizens Banking Company. Parshauer Eye Center presents the Fan of the Week. And we'll also have the Play of the Game at the end of the telecast, brought to you by High Miler Convenience. Assist to the Game is brought to you by Ehovie Career Center in Milan. The pregame brought to you by Buckeye Cable System. Cameo Pizza presents.
Do you know over 64 million Americans have one or more types of cardiovascular disease? Did you know cardiac catheterizations have increased 332% in the past 20 years? Did you know coronary artery bypass surgery is one of the most common operations now performed in the U.S.? We know. In fact, we're experts at all things heart-related. Our heart is in the right place, right here in Sandusky. Firelands, we know hearts.
Unfortunately, injuries do happen, and you should consult the most qualified rehabilitation team to treat your painful condition. Rehabilitation centers are not the same. Advanced Health is the only local physical therapy clinic offering doctors of physical therapy on staff. In addition, most of our athletic trainers and physical therapists have specialized training.
Advanced Health. Our strength is quality. The community at Parkview offers skilled and intermediate nursing care and retirement living in absolutely beautiful surroundings and state-of-the-art facilities. Please visit the community at Parkview and see for yourself. The community at Parkview, 3800 Parkview Boulevard.
They'll get ready for the start of this one now, as the pace of this one in the first few minutes was just phenomenal, as Perkins just came out as hot as could be, and Huron is going to hang right with him. Andrew Fawcett scoring first. Pirates taking a couple of minutes to kind of size up what the Tigers are doing to him on defense. And then we'll just kind of go and do what we do best. Just bombing shots in from all over the place. Doster. Danny Doster gives the Pirates the 3-2 lead. Vince Zappa answers for the Tigers. Time to take another look right here. Jim Beach for Zappa, coming off a bit of a screen, set by Fawcett, and he is right on the money. A lot of energy from both of these ball clubs to get this game started. Right back down the floor, Kyle Hallock. Here we go. First two baskets of the night for Perkins are threes. One from Doster, one from Hallock. Well, that was a great look. It just how to beat pressure. Just keep swinging the ball back and forth. Find your way to the basket. Jim Beach finishes things off. We tie it up at 6. And Kyle Hallock will untie it, hitting 1 out of 2 at the line. Devin Matthews clearing that backside rebound for Perkins, but a steal right back by Zappa. And the Tigers get kind of like a little bonus possession here. Jim Beach going to inbound right here. The ball has gotten knocked away by Perkins, and Andrew Fawcett attacking the basket. But Fawcett has a good first quarter in this one, has a good game. Josh Lau, he had hit 6 3-point baskets the week before against Western Reserve, and it's like, you got to be kidding me. He hadn't hit 6 all year probably up until then, but it shows you he can get it done. It's a third 3-point basket. In fact, the only field goals up to this point in time for the Pirates are threes. 3 of them for a 10-8 lead. Tigers back to work again on the offensive end as Perkins plays that customary man-to-man defense all over the place. And it's Jim Beach tying the ball game at 10. Second tie of the game. Beach scraping down the rebound, and the Tigers with a chance to grab the lead back again. Goes Andrew Fawcett to work again down close to the basket. Well, 12 tie. Devin Matthews, the basket that ties it for the Pirates. It would be the third tie of the first quarter. And only halfway through the quarter. That goes along with 6 lead changes. It's going to seem like every time a basket was scored here, it was either a tie or a lead change of some sort in the first 4 minutes of this game. Kyle Hallock just had a phenomenal first half. This 3-point basket right here is lead change number 7. Justin Caudill off the pressure defense gives the Tigers their biggest lead to this point of 5 points at 17-12. Tigers in the opening stage of this ball game were just shooting the lights out. Their first 10 shots, they had hit 80% from the floor. It just is uncanny. Andrew Fawcett with a three-point play the old-fashioned way, and Huron gets back to within a pair. This first quarter for Perkins, I mean, everybody's taking chance. Every three ball they're throwing up there is going in. That's 5 3-point baskets in the first quarter by 4 different players. Andrew Fawcett once again back to the free throw line. And 1 out of 2 will get them right back to within 4 points again. Remember Scott McVay telling us about Kyle Halleck. One of the features, one of the things that he does so well is he can almost go to the free throw line almost any time he wants to. And what that means basically is the way he penetrates, the way he attacks the basket, he can draw personal fouls almost at will. That's why he just spends so much time at that free throw line. Danny Doster builds that Pirate lead up to 9, and Jeff Winslow, rather animated and getting his troops rallied up on the far sidelines. Frustrating in the fact that, you know, you look at the scoreboard and see that Huron is down by 9 points. They played a pretty good first quarter. Just at Perkins, you know, you look at, they played less than 6 minutes, they've got 25 points on the board. Very patient possession here, coming down to the final minute of players. So remember what we just said about Kyle Halleck in the free throw line. And there he does it again. Finding a way to get there. Score another point, which gives the Pirates a 10-point lead at 26-16. And that would be the biggest lead of the first quarter for Perkins. A whole lot of things go into making up a season where you get to 18 games in and you still haven't lost. And I asked Scott the next night when we were broadcasting on the radio doing the game against Norwalk St. Paul, you ever just kind of sit back on the bench and just start watching these guys and wow. He says it has happened a couple of times. You kind of find yourself going out into a zone and just being amazed at what these kids can do. They played so much basketball together for so long that sometimes they just make the game look very, very easy. And I'll go along with the part where it's just a pleasure to sit back, relax, and watch them play. Final half minute of the first quarter of play. Pirates put up 25 points in the first 5:45 of the quarter, and they would not get a field goal in the last 2 minutes and 15 seconds of the first quarter. Otherwise, the damage could be worse as far as Huron is concerned. So there you go. That's 1 quarter in the books, and it is an outstanding one as the Pirates actually cooled off there at the end of the quarter to the point where they're only shooting like 73% from the floor. Only. 1 quarter in the books, and in Perkins with an 8-point lead. It's the Pirates 26, Huron 18. And the Pirates' biggest lead of the first quarter was 10. Huron's biggest lead was 2. Last time they had that was a 12-10. Second quarter up next on the Game of the Week.
By the United Way of Erie County, funding 24 local partner agencies serving Erie County. It's the United Way. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, They're across from the Sandusky Mall, Lee's Famous Recipe. Also brought to you tonight by Salmon Run Restaurant, located in the Sawmill Creek in Huron. Great restaurant, great atmosphere. Salmon Run in Sawmill Creek. Barnes Nursery and Garden Center, Cleveland Road West on the curve in Huron. Barnes Nursery. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Groff Funeral Homes, caring for our community since 1902. Groff Funeral Homes. And brought to you tonight by Window Incorporated. Plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. 625-1037. Window Incorporated. Marconi's Restaurant, Cleveland Road, Huron. You know they're the area's best Italian dining, without a doubt. Marconi's in Huron. Miley Family Dentistry, Stephen C. Miley, 1323 Hull Road. Miley Dentistry, Steve Miley. J.A. Truth Packing Company, quality people making quality pork products. The J.A. Truth Packing Company. Tonight's telecast brought to you by Sandusky Orthopedics and Rheumatology, Doctors Barry, Felter, Wong, Alexa, and Morrow. 1401 Bone Creek Drive, just off Route 4, Hayes Avenue. Sandusky Orthopedics and Rheumatology. O.E. Meyer Company, an employee-owned company serving the community since way back in 1918. It's O.E. Meyer Company. Berardi's Family Kitchen. Taste the homemade touch at Berardi's Family Kitchen, Perkins Avenue. Tonight's telecast sponsored by the good folks over at Precision Body and Frame. You know, we do your body better. Venice Road. Precision Body and Frame. Key Bank. The future is key at Key Bank. 3 locations in our area. Tonight's telecast also brought to you by Remax Quality Realty. They are above the crowd. 627-1996. Remax Quality Realty, and by the J.A. Truth Packing Company. Quality people making quality pork products. J.A. Truth. This telecast brought to you by O.E. Meyer, serving the community since 1918. O.E. Meyer. Jim's Pizza Box, located in Milan and in Huron. Jim's Pizza Box. Jim West and the whole gang say good luck to all area teams. Foster Funeral Home and Crematory in Huron. Wayne and Sandy Foster. Foster Funeral Home and Crematory, located in Huron. Tonight's telecast brought to you by Quiznos Sub, across from the Sandusky Mall. Toasty, it's Quiznos Sub.
When the game is over, if you have given 100%, you are the winner no matter what the score. Janata and Herner, our reputation is building.
Tonight's game of the week is brought to you by Murray & Murray, experienced trial lawyers, when you need the best on your team. And good luck to all Erie County athletes.
Tonight's game of the week is brought to you by Vacation Land Realty. Remember Vacation Land Realty, a house sold name.
Tonight's game of the week is brought to you by the Kazmaier Insurance Group. Good luck to all area teams.
Tonight's game of the week is brought to you by your friends Casper Toyota Scion here in Sandusky. For your next vehicle purchase, come see me, Susan.
Family, friends, and fun for over 70 years.
Cameo Pizza, a family restaurant since 1936.
What makes Max and Irma's different than everyone else in town? It's how we prepare our food. We do it all from scratch, and we do it right the first time around. Come on in and check it out for yourself. You'll enjoy it.
Here we go with quarter number 2. Danny Doster controlling the basketball first, as the Pirates go to work against the Huron defense, which kind of has a few zone tendencies if you watch it real close here now, as they try and slow the Pirates down a little bit. That didn't work. 10-point lead again as Kyle Halleck takes it along the baseline. Nothing really seems to faze these kids. They just kind of play the game, have fun doing it. And the best part is, and we've talked about it all year long, it's just an unselfish group of kids that really doesn't care who gets the credit for what happened, just so long as we score, just so long as we win the game. Great anticipation that time on defense by Halleck. Nice find by Josh Lau, finding Drew Sullivan at that high post area to knock down a 15-footer. The whole thing against that zone, just find the open spot, see the man, and let him knock down that. Boy, if you got shooters, you can knock down 10, 15-foot jumpers. Zones are worthless. Nice take to the basket by Kevin Bowles. And the Pirates answer right back with Halleck, who just has found the groove here in the first half. 32-20. Perkins up by a dozen right here. Talking about tournament time, and a lot of folks kind of banning about how far these Pirates can go, and of course their road to advance is probably as hard as anybody's in the area this year. That Division II is just going to be a phenomenal showdown. Talking both sectionals and districts, if they can make it that far, and boy, the way they've played, you got to believe that they certainly have a very good possibility if they keep bringing that A game to the table. But the road to advance, you start to talk about teams like Port Clinton, Fostoria, Shelby, Bellevue, Upper Sandusky. That's a tough road to get by. That's the road that's in front of these guys after they finish off the regular season. And with a win the following night over Norwalk St. Paul, it would make the 18th win of the year, leaving 2 more games yet to play. And this Friday night, Perkins will be home against Clyde, and then they finish up the year on the road at Port Clinton. So a couple of upper-tier ball clubs in the SBC. The next challenge in front of these Pirates down the stretch. You look at where Huron's going in the tournaments, too, and if the Tigers play good basketball, there certainly is nothing that's going to intimidate you over at the Division III in Norwalk. Of course, Huron has done so well over there for years. And normally, the Tigers are playing in a seated position of some sort or another, but not going to happen this year. Outstanding work again by the Pirates, and we're going to take another look for Matthews forward. Look at the scrambling on the floor, the find. Matthews right back for Caudell. Boy, they don't do much better than that. Andrew Fawcett in the locker room was telling one of our radio crew members, Dick Wennis, that he really thought that this was the night that Perkins was going to bite the dust for the first time. He was all fired up. His teammates were all fired up and came out playing that way. But unfortunately for them, Perkins was equal to every challenge and then answered back with a few. The Pirates just continue to shoot the ball very well, up by 19 points now midway through the second quarter at 40-21. On the run again, Kyle Halleck going basically coast to coast for a 21-point lead as they've doubled up on Huron now at 42-21. They scrambling around on the offensive boards by David Finney, and he'll get the Tigers back to within 19 again. Vince Zappa attacking the right side of the Perkins defense. And Colin Scheid out front. Finally, Jim Beach for the 3, but not there. By Fawcett to save it, but went to the wrong team, and once again, Halleck. Now, you know when things are going well, and you know as businesslike as Kyle Halleck is on the floor, this one even brought a smile to his face. All the way down the floor, and then, whoops, back to the rim, and anything will go. Just throw it up there. The expression. Anything will go in on a night like tonight. Tough to play against this Perkins ball club because you really do have to bring your A game. They put so much pressure on you. Almost every move you make, you've got somebody clawing at the ball or trying to mess up what you're trying to get done. And they're just constantly like all over you, like a pack of gnats. Andrew Fawcett with 1 out of 2 at the line. Forced error for the Tigers, giving the ball back to Perkins once again. There's that extra pass that Coach McVay is always telling us about, that these kids seem to have a nice knack of knowing, when they need to give it up one more time. It's like Lau probably could have attacked. You get one more pass, though, and Justin Caudill finishes things up. Perkins with a lead of 46-25. This would be their biggest lead of the first half. Vince Zappa is probably one of the most improved players from the beginning of the year to this stage right now. And if you've seen him play early in the year, you know what we're saying, but he has really come on strong here in the second half of the season. You're getting about 4 or 5 shots at the basket. It's almost like a sense of relief on Zappa's face after he put it in. Fast break basket the other way as the Tigers turn their defense into offense, and they're back to within 17. Now, if there's a fitting way to close off the first half of this ball game, Kyle Halleck had such an outburst in the first half of points. It'd probably only be fitting that he finishes up the half with that, right at the buzzer. 25 points at halftime for Halleck. That would slow down in the second half to the point where he'd finish with 28 for the game, but 25 points in the half. Doesn't take him long to get ready, does it? Just pick it up, square the feet. Here we go. Boom. 3 more. Huron big. Perkins big at halftime by a score of 49-29, outscoring the Tigers 23-11 in the second quarter. Halftime up next on TW Teleproductions Game of the Week. Our segment sponsors, of course, include the Hustle Award for Tough Man Equipment and Supply on Route 20 East in Norwalk. Player of the Game for Firelands Regional Medical Center in Sandusky. Citizens Banking Company bringing you the Money Shot. Parshauer Eye Center presents the Fan of the Week. High Miler Convenience is the sponsor for Play of the Game. Assist of the Game is brought to you by Hobie Career Center in Milan. And Buckeye Cable System brings you our pregame each and every telecast. Cameo Pizza presents the Fan Cam.
Tonight's Game of the Week is brought to you by your friends here at Chet and Matt's Pizza. Good luck to all area teams.
Tonight's Game of the Week is being brought to you by Manny's Sports Tavern and Grill. Good luck to all area teams from your friends here at Manny's.
Tonight's Game of the Week is brought to you by Foster Chevrolet Cadillac. And good luck to all area teams.
The Schuster family is very proud to be celebrating our 40th year in the Sandusky market, and a big thanks to our community for helping us make that happen. To thank you, we have our $3.99 Magnificent 7, Monday through Friday, which you've got to ask for.
Hello, Pierre Van Rapenbush. And everyone here at Pierre's Quick Print is proud to be a Game of the Week sponsor. Good luck to all the athletes.
Danny Boys Italian Eatery wishes all of our area teams good luck this season. Come celebrate big with pizza, pasta, ribs, and more. Come see us at Danny Boy's.
Our patron sponsors include the UPS Store, Toft Funeral Home and Crematory, Asher Brothers Auto Pride, Periodical Publishers Service Bureau Incorporated, Coach's Sports Corner, Cliff's Carryout, Danny Boys, the Commons at Providence, and Providence Care Center.
Here we go with your second half of basketball from the jungle, with Perkins holding a 20-point lead at the break, 49-29, after hitting that three-point basket late in quarter number 2, right at the buzzer. Pirates, every time they get a chance, they're running that floor. First free throw doing the old swirly routine on Halleck. Second one rolls through, and it's a 50-29 Perkins lead. Diagonal pass through traffic that failed to hit the mark. And Jim Beach clears up the backside rebound for Huron, and away go the Tigers on offense again. Here's Vince Zappa hitting that three ball. It's tough to go over the top of Justin Caudill. Good place to have him right in the middle of that press where he can use that vertical reach. Devin Matthews, nothing but net. And the Tigers bring the ball up the floor, facing that 20-point deficit once again. And it's about to get even deeper right there. Justin Caudill will do the old three-point basket and shot routine, and he's going to get the flagrant foul to boot. Or maybe that's where the technical was called. Devin Matthews. And Devin on the rebound as well. Yeah, this is and watch the Pirates when they rebound the basketball. It's almost like whoever gets the ball, okay, go ahead and start the break. Now, there's not many teams around where you can just take any of the 5 kids you've got on the floor. And we're talking about when the bench kids are in there, too, when the subs come in. They just get the ball, and they fly. They're rolling. It just puts so much pressure. I think it's what John Schlesman was talking about the other night on our game, too, talking about offensive pressure that Perkins puts on you, not just defense. You better defend. Colin Scheid hitting that basket from deep in the corner. was after Perkins had opened up what would end up being their biggest lead of the ball game, 29 points at 63-34. And it's right about this time, midway through the third quarter, where you start to see some more bodies filtering onto the floor for the Pirates. J.P. Lococo on the ball now. Jared Patton's right there in the ball game. Drew Sullivan, Alex Wazalik, and John Schaefer. Free ball by Scheid makes it a 63-39 ball game. Some great playing time for these kids. You know, this is huge, too, because this is the game where the Pirates wrap up the undisputed SBC championship. They don't have to share it with anyone. All the kids got to be part of it. And you're talking some pretty good quality time here, because you're looking 4 minutes to go in the third quarter when Scott kind of really went to a lot of the subs. Brought the starters back in for the first couple minutes of the fourth quarter, which we kind of thought he would do. And then the second teamers basically got to play the rest of the game as well. And obviously, when you look at the final score, they represented themselves very well. And this is a very deep basketball program of a JV ball club that has only lost several games this year. So as much as this senior class will be missed next year after they graduate, the well is not dry, as they'll be able to bring back some quality teams here for several years to come, at least in the foreseeable future anyway. And take another look here at the crossover dribble by Beach and the handoff for Vince Zappa. And that puts you at 63-43. Pulling down to the final couple minutes of play in the third quarter right here. Sports Radio Sandusky WLEC will continue to follow the Perkins Pirates in their quest for an unbeaten season on Friday night as they entertain the Clyde Flyers at the Pirate Plank on Campbell Street. That would be number 19 in a row and set a new school standard if they can win that for consecutive wins in a season. And we'll have that for you also, by the way, next week right here on TW Teleproductions Game of the Week. A little hesitation by Schaefer. Nothing there on the baseline. And put in from that left side by Kirk Heipley. Drew Sullivan. 69-43. Under a minute left to play in the quarter as once again Colin Scheid knocks down another three. Collins had a good third quarter with 8 points in the quarter. And the young sophomore for Huron had 12 on the night, with 2/3 of those points coming right here in quarter number 3. Both teams still hustling. Looks like it was a 2-point ball game. Nice move into the paint by Zappa to draw the personal foul. Third quarter winding down. And that's just about going to do it as the Pirates outscore the Tigers by just one in the third quarter, 20-19, to lead at 69-48 after three quarters on the game of the week.
Tonight's telecast also sponsored by Old Town Windows, Doors, Auto Glass, and Mirrors, 626-9613. Polis & Associates Architects, they're located at 1717 East Perkins Avenue. Polis & Associates Architects. The Wagner Quarries, part of Hanson Aggregates. Also, Sandusky Quarry in Groton Township, Hanson Aggregates. This broadcast sponsored by Foster Chevrolet Cadillac. Since 1955, it's Foster Chevrolet Cadillac. Pell's Lettering Shirt Shack, located on Milan Road, 625-3567. Pell's Lettering Shirt Shack. And by Spear Brothers Excavating since 1975. It's time for a little billboard art, and they include Barnes Nursery and Garden Center. Large trees, we can move them. Barnes Nursery, Route 6, just west of Huron. Barnes Nursery. Imaging, Open MRI, Gnomes Healthcare, known throughout the area, 621-0858, Gnomes Healthcare. Quick Lane at Matthews Ford, all major brands. It's your best deal for tires, just next to Matthews Ford. Also sponsored tonight by Gunlock, heating, cooling, and air conditioning since 1889. Don't gamble with your family's comfort. Gunlock. And by the Citizens Banking Company, and rates don't have to get this ugly, and they don't at Citizens Banking Company. More billboard art, and they include Sawmill Creek Resort, hotel, golf shops, restaurants, just a great location located on Lake Erie, just west of Huron. Chet and Matt's Pizza, left at the First Light in Strub Road if you're driving that way, but of course you know where it's at, Strub Road, just east of 250. The Sandusky Register, your paper, your news. Don't miss a single story. Sandusky Register, and check out SanduskyRegister.com. Winter fun is full swing at Snow Trails in Mansfield, I-71 and Route 13, Snow Trails in Mansfield. BGSU Firelands Campus, the 360-degree education designed around you.
Up next is the Parshauer Eye Center Fan of the Week. Oh, the best show. There's the best show right there. That's your Parshauer Eye Center Fan of the Week. And up next is the Cameo Pizza Cameo Fan Cam. Going to go to the Tiger this time. Jason Watt. It's your Cameo Pizza Fan Cam. Our segment sponsors include Matthews Ford Lincoln Mercury. Also Tough Man Equipment and Supply on Route 20 East in Norwalk. They bring us the Hustle Award. Player of the game brought to you by Firelands Regional Medical Center. Citizens Banking Company presents The Money Shot. Parshauer Eye Center presents the Fan of the Week that you just saw. And we've got our High Miler Convenience Play of the Game coming up later in the telecast. Assist of the game brought to you by Ehovie Career Center in Milan. The pregame brought to you each time around by Buckeye Cable System. Cameo Pizza presents the Cameo Fan Cam. And our fourth quarter gets underway with Perkins controlling the basketball. And as we talked about on the radio, I'd asked Dick Wennis, being a former coach, what do you do when you've got such a big lead? You've had a lot of subs in for really the last half of the third quarter, and you'll probably see the starters for the first couple minutes of the fourth quarter come back and get rid of all the cobwebs, and it would be just about it. And it was just about it. They played a couple minutes. I think it was right around 6 minutes to go, and Scott went right back to the bench again. Devin Matthews to the line. See on the scoreboard in the background, the Pirates well in control. And now it's Kyle Halleck to the line, and Kyle's going to shoot three. 2 out of 3 for Kyle, and the Pirates have the lead now of 75-48. Ball. Didn't know whether it wanted to stay in that rim or not, but it did. Andrew Fawcett scores again for 75-50 score. And now Justin Caudill to the free throw line for the Pirates. Pretty much tells you the whole story right there. It is all Perkins in this one. This would be the 4th win in a row in this series for Perkins, turning it around after Huron had beaten Perkins 8 times in a row. Perkins doing a nice job of advancing the ball down the floor with the pressure that Huron is putting on, ending up in a pretty simple basket for Caudill to make the score 79-51. Sometimes it almost seems like Perkins is playing defense with about 8 guys, you know. And some of the curtain calls coming right now for some of the Pirates. Justin and Kyle both heading out. Kind of extra motivation, as Scott was telling us in the pregame, for the Pirates to win the conference title outright on the floor of the team that has won it the last 2 years in a row. Andrew Fawcett doing a great job of getting that break started. And that fast break rolling on the pass down the floor to Jim Beach. You make sure that he takes advantage and gets the assist for his teammate. But it's one of the things the Pirates talked about. It was kind of a fitting thing to be able to clinch the outright championship on the floor of the team that controlled it the last couple of years. And of course, the Tigers have won so many basketball championships through the years. And it's the other part. It seemed very strange to be sitting there in the gym and not looking across the floor at the bench and seeing Dino anywhere. It's been such a part of Huron basketball for so long, even a couple years when he wasn't head coach and Frank Joffrey was in there. Dino was still there and still a part of things. Did see Dino at the game the other night, though. Good to see him there and keeping check on some of these young men. Making sure the program is in good hands, which it is, of course, with Jeff Winslow in charge. Surprised that a shot like that doesn't go in as hot as the Pirates have been in this ballgame. About halfway through the fourth quarter, and Huron trailing in the ball game 79-53. Colin Scheid checking it inbounds for the Tigers. Patrick Joffrey. Getting some solid minutes down the stretch in this one as Scheid scores again for the Tigers. And Scheid hitting double figures with that basket. Zappa, you look at Scheid behind him. Credit the Tigers. They still went after this one hard. Hard to figure out what happened the next night. They played against New London, an independent game, and lost at 73-44. A game that would really be a pretty good ball game, but Tigers just were never in it. They fell behind early and would never get in it. Heading down the home stretch of this one on the Jungle as the Tigers on the verge of losing their first conference game on their home floor of the season. They've scored some pretty nice wins on this floor this year too, beating St. Mary's Central Catholic and Clyde. Certainly not beating any patsies in those ball clubs. Those are both very solid basketball teams. It's been kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde season because heading into this weekend, Oak Harbor had only one conference win in the year. In fact, one win in their season, and it was against Huron. That was over at the launching pad. But the biggest thing is when you look at Huron now compared with where they were early in the year, you definitely can see improvement. And hopefully they'll have it all in gear when the tournament trail starts in Norwalk. They are very, very capable of competing with anybody in that tournament as long as they're playing well. This is John Schaefer bringing the ball up the floor for Kirk Heipley. Adam Tinker getting to dress varsity as well in this ball game. Tinker wearing number 21. Pirates get it back off the 5-second turnover. And Adam Tinker hitting the basket for the Pirates. For Heipley on the rebound, and we're down to the final minute of play here in the Jungle. Josh Reber trying to score for the Tigers, firing it up a little bit too strong. Heipley with a final basket of the ball game coming for the Pirates. Perkins would outscore Huron in the fourth quarter, 14-13, and the Pirates clinch the outright championship of the SBC with this victory in the Jungle of 83-61 over the Huron Tigers. 17-0 on the year after this one, 12-0 in the SBC. Huron at 5-11 overall, 4-8 in the SBC. As the final buzzer sounds. Here comes your Hustle Award, brought to you by Tough Man Equipment and Supply on Route 20 East in Norwalk. And the Hustle Award, boy, Andrew Fawcett, what a job coming up with that loose ball and getting that fast break started for Jim Beach. That's your Hustle Award tonight, brought to you by Tough Man Equipment and Supply, located on Route 20 East in Norwalk. Now your money shot, which is brought to you by the Citizens Banking Company. And your money shot tonight is going to be right here. It's the one right at the end of the first half where Lau just kind of shoveled it over in the side for Kyle Halleck, and as the clock was winding down, hits the three at the buzzer to send the Pirates into the locker room on a solid note. That's your money shot for Citizens Banking Company. Now your Rehoboth Career Center assist of the game. Boy, Devin Matthews gets the assist, but Drew Sullivan ought to have a little part of it as well. That's your Rehoboth Career Center assist of the game. That was just a wonderful play. Play of the game up next, brought to you by High Miler Convenience. Baseline for Josh Lau. And he is going to get the play of the game, brought to you by the folks at High Miler Convenience. Player of the game up next, brought to you by Firelands Regional Medical Center in Sandusky. And the player of the game tonight going to be right there, Justin Caudill. 24 points on the night with 9 baskets, 6 out of 7 at the line. That's your player of the game for Firelands Regional Medical Center in Sandusky. That's it. See you next week for Perkins.